St. John Paul II addressed the crowds of young people present at the Downsview Air Force Base on Sunday, July 28, 2002, during the concluding Eucharistic celebration of Canada's blessed event. The Holy Father said during his homily, "At difficult moments in the Church's life, the pursuit of holiness becomes even more urgent. And holiness is not a question of age. It is a matter of living in the Holy Spirit, just as Kateri Tekakwitha did here in America, and so many other young people have done." Kateri Tekakwitha, known as the Lily of the Mohawks, was born in 1656 at Ossernanon, an Iroquois village on the Mohawk River, in what is now New York State. Tekakwitha's father was a Mohawk chief, and her mother a Catholic Algonquin. At the age of 4, smallpox attacked Tekakwitha's village, taking the lives of her parents and baby brother, and leaving Tekakwitha an orphan. Smallpox had marked her face and seriously impaired her eyesight. Although terribly weakened, scarred, and partially blind, Tekakwitha survived. She was adopted by her 2 aunts and her uncle, also a Mohawk chief. The family abandoned their village and built a new settlement called Gananagua, some 5 miles away on the north bank of the Mohawk River. Tekakwitha was not baptized as an infant, yet she had fond memories of her good and prayerful mother and of the stories of Catholic faith that her mother shared with her in her childhood. She often went to the woods alone to speak to God and listen to Him in her heart and hear the voice of nature. Kateri's family did not accept her choice to embrace Christ. After her baptism, Kateri became the village outcast. Her family refused her food on Sundays because she wouldn't work. Children would taunt her and throw stones. She was threatened with torture or death if she did not renounce her religion. Because of increasing hostility from her people, and because she wanted to devote her life to working for God, in July of 1677, Kateri left her village and fled more than 200 miles through the woods, rivers, and swamps to the Catholic mission of St. Francis Xavier at Sault Ste. Louis, near Montreal. She spent much of her time in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament, kneeling in the cold chapel for hours. Kateri loved the rosary and carried it around her neck always. Kateri taught the young and helped those in the village who were poor or sick. Her favorite devotion was to fashion crosses out of sticks and place them throughout the woods. These crosses served as stations that reminded her to spend a moment in prayer. Yet even in the Christian Iroquois village of Ganawake, the pressures of cultural expectations, such as marriage and participation in some native practices, remained. On March 25, 1679, Kateri made a vow of perpetual virginity. Kateri hoped to start a convent for Native American sisters in Sault Ste. Louis, but her spiritual director, Father Pierre Cholonec, discouraged her. Kateri's health, never good, was deteriorating rapidly, due in part to the penances she inflicted on herself. On April 17, 1680, the Wednesday of Holy Week, she died at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the age of 24. Her last words were, "Jesus gonorongwa," Jesus, I love you. 15 minutes after her death, before the eyes of 2 Jesuits and all the native Indians that could fit into the room, the ugly scars on her face suddenly disappeared. On June 22, 1980, Kateri Tekakwitha was beatified by Pope John Paul II. On October 21, 2012, she was canonized as the first Native North American woman. She speaks to the suffering, the persecuted, and the afflicted. Her roots stretch from the United States to Canada, to both the French and the English communities. Kateri is a wonderful bridge of healing and reconciliation for our contemporary world and church. A true symbol of the enduring links between Catholicism and our Native brothers and sisters, the indigenous people of our lands. As a model of chastity and purity, Kateri is a sure guide, teaching us how to live our sexuality with delight and respect for God's loving plan. When we live our sexuality in the proper way, according to our state in life, others will be able to find God through us. Her earthly life was hidden in the 17th century, yet her message continues to resound through time, reminding us of all that is good, beautiful, holy, and enduring about the Christian life and message. Saint Kateri Tekakwitha was an instrument in her own lifetime of the first evangelization. Through her death and membership in the Communion of Saints, she is an enduring model of the new evangelization for the Church.